What's up, everybody? It's a couple days before Christmas. I know I'm enjoying the holiday season. I hope y'all are too. We're gonna do some Dreadful Talk today. It's been a minute since I did a normal Dreadful Talk episode, no strings attached, just me and a good homie chopping it up. And today I got a former teammate of mine, Demetri Turner. I've been looking forward to this one for a while now, and we're gonna talk a little football, a little life, just see what's going on with each other, see how everybody's feeling about everything, and but yeah, looking forward to it. It's episode 54 of Dreadful Talk Podcast featuring Demetri Turner, and he's already with us. Let's get him on here. But hey, man, good to see you, bro.
What's up,
I
bro?
appreciate you joining me. Episode 54 Dreadful Talk Podcast. This is Demetri Turner. We played football together at OBU, Oklahoma Baptist University, and just good dude. We had some good times, and I'm just looking forward to chopping it up. Like, this is the dude that, like, it'd be Sunday, everybody's watching football. Like, he's always going to have something to say. He always going, he's a fun dude to talk sports with. Like he going to turn your living room into a barbershop is what's going to happen, man. But,
Definitely.
but I love it, man. That's what some of my best memories of us just, watching some football, talking some shit, man. And that's pretty much what I want to do today, man, is talk a little football, just catch up, I want to see your opinion on a few different little topics. And, I'm looking forward to catching up with you, chopping it up.
So Texas is a red state. Like, you know that. Like, we're a red state. But, like, when you live in the inner city, like, okay, like, and I'm going to dabble into politics a little bit because, like, this has all happened to me in, like, the last 10 months. And it's, like, changed my perspective on life so much, bro. And it's, like, growing up in the inner city, like, I was an inner city kid. Like, we really didn't have much. I grew up around a bunch of gang violence and stuff, too. So, like, it was just part of life. Like, I had a dad and my mom, like, they were together. I had a good structured family. Like, my dad kicked our ass for everything. So, like, I really had, I couldn't bring Steve's home, right? And, like, stuff like that. I had good parents. So
yeah, for sure. You can tell anybody that knows Demetri, you can tell.
So that was pretty cool. But, like, bro, I got here. So, like, I moved to the Valley last October. I moved here to the Valley. And, bro, when I got here, like, okay, so, like, where I'm at is 98% Hispanic. So, when I got here, I'm expecting, like, everyone's going to hate Trump. Like, just, like, the stuff you see in the city. Like, bro, everyone here fly Trump flags. Everyone. And it was, like, eye-opening for me. Bro, I seen the wall. Like, that wall get built every day. Like, anyone that don't know that is crazy. Like, that wall go up every day. They building it because we have to service them because we're the biggest oil distributor company in the Texas Gulf Coast. So, like, the government make us service them.
Yeah.
Right?
Honestly, California is the same way. I know California gets labeled as, like, super blue, which for the most part it is. But, like, it's really just San Francisco and L.A. Every other part of LA, I mean, California is the whole West Coast.
Yeah.
And like the area around San Francisco and the area around LA, and probably include San Diego in there. But, like, everywhere else is like just like like Oklahoma, Texas, like on that red state.
So like
even Sacramento.
So, like, everyone here, like, and then, like, Hispanic people believe in, like, owning everything. So a lot of the businesses and stuff here are owned by those people. So, like, their thought process is, like, what can I do to pay less taxes? What can I do to keep as much money in my family table? Because, like, a lot of the people from here are, like, first-generation Americans. So, like, they – like, and it's crazy because, like, you would think, like, they would want their people to be able to come over here. But, like, bro, the people who are actually, like, legally Americans here, the Hispanics, like, they want the wall to go up because they don't feel like it's fair that we had to go through all of this crap to get our green cards and our visas. And then y'all come over here and don't pay taxes for nothing. Your kids get to go to school for free. So it's like, it's like a really eye-opening thing because like, what happened to me, I guess, Rose, what I'm trying to say is, like, I moved 8 hours away in the same state, and I'm in a whole completely different world.
Yeah, that's one of the things about Texas, right, is that it is so big that, hey, you can drive 8 hours and be in the same damn state. Like, in a lot of places, like on the East Coast, that, like, sentence doesn't even exist.
And then also, but yeah, Texas is like a very diverse place, which I think you're doing a good job of painting a picture of. Is like I think a lot of people, especially on the West Coast, probably the East Coast too, they think of Texas as like a singular thing. And like you said, depending on where you're at, big city, small town, I mean, it's a very diverse place, you know, with and also, yeah, that's one of my biggest problems with politics. I think you're pointing out another issue that I love to point out as well is like these like political, I guess you call them pundits, like they're always busy like telling like a group of people how they should feel about something. Like you said, how you were kind of shocked to find that a lot of Hispanics, like, you know, leaned right or wanted the wall to go up and things like that. Because the media spends all day telling Mexican people how they should feel about a topic. And this, you know, as a black man, that like the Democratic Party's been like, quote unquote, trying to speak for us since, you know, I mean, forever, you know,
Yeah.
like before our parents was born. And it's not because like I do like try to stay pretty in the center. Like there's plenty I disagree with on both sides, but one of the biggest problems I do have with the Democratic Party and like I hate like honestly I just hate the fact that because I have dreadlocks and I wear a do-rag or whatever, have tattoos, whatever the case may be, people look at me and just automatically think I'm like some like super far left dude. And then so that's on a micro level, and then on the party level, like I said, the Democratic Party's been like speaking for black folks and just assuming they have the black vote for. I mean, like I said, before my parents were born. So like that's part of it that I do, you know, that does kind of annoy me as far as that kind of political spectrum stuff goes, man. But yeah, I was pretty shocked too. Like where I'm at, Reno. Nevada's always been like a 50-50 state, like
Hmm.
kind of a similar thing. Like Las Vegas is blue, and like I think a lot of the inner city of Reno is blue, but then the more rural parts are red. And but like a lot of it used to be more red, but so many people moved here from like from the Bay Area and from California that it does kind of it is a good mix. What I've noticed it's crazy about where I'm at, man, is that like there's like an age gap where the demographic changes. Like everybody over 40 is like white and Republican. And then like all the young people are all Hispanic, like all of them. Like so like I live right up the street from a middle school, a high school, and an elementary school. Whenever the kids and they have like off campus lunches and shit, and I see them walking home from school, all Hispanic, like 90% Hispanic. But then like you go to the store like Walmart or wherever, and like all the grown folks are all for the most part white. It's a really like stark line. Like you can tell things are like
Yeah.
changing and like you know like it really is crazy because like I said, like you go to the casinos or really anywhere where like older people are, it'll be like all white. And then you go anywhere younger people are, it'll be like all Hispanic. It's a really interesting, you know, just dynamic.
Yeah.
I just think to kind of wrap this up, to summarize, like I just think the whole like assuming a group of people feels a certain way about a subject has got to end. You know what I mean? Like that's annoying.
Well, because I always live by this road, and we can move on whenever you're ready. But like, the only wrong answer is a definite answer. Like, no, like we live in this space to where, cause like, bro, okay, like I grew up in the family. Like my family, my parents always voted blue, so my parents are liberal people, and like I'm like you, bro. I'm not really. I'm an independent. I guess that's what you would call yourself, right? It's like I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I'm gonna look at two people. And I'm gonna say, okay, I think Obama's better, or I think Trump's better, whatever. It's like whatever. Whoever I vote for is who I vote for, right? And it don't matter. But it's like we get into these spaces where, yeah, like you really say, it's like, oh well, if you're black, like Joe Biden, right? It's like, hey, if you don't vote, if you ain't black, if you don't vote for me. It's like huh?
Like, yeah, like who the fuck are you to? Yeah.
No, so
I hate that shit. Yeah,
you're right. And it's like, or it's like even like, and then like what makes it even more weird for like me and you, right? It's like we're multiracial, so it's like now you're telling me if I don't vote for the black side, I'm Uncle Tom ass dude. So then screw my mom and my grandma everyone else that I have cousins who are Caucasian, bro. So it's like, who are you to tell me that I ain't black? Then now I'm not black enough. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, it's a huge problem. And then
Oh, bro.
and then also like the left seems to be the ones that like write the rule book on like what's offensive, and it's like y'all do offensive shit too.
Shit
Like that
too,
shit is offensive
man.
when you try to speak from me. You know what I'm saying? I feel you. I feel you, man. Like I said, and there's plenty. Like I couldn't stand Trump, but there's a lot of like general broad stroke Republican kind of politics that I do agree with. I like my guns. I like the kind of idea of limiting the power of a federal government,
Me
like the
too.
quote unquote small government, like the lower taxes. Like I live in Nevada, there's no state tax here. Like that's a way you can help people. Like I noticed my check, I was essentially making the same amount here as I was in Cali. But Cali has a steep state tax, so I'm bringing home more of my paycheck. It's like noticeable. It's like a round of
Yeah,
groceries worth of money
yeah.
to help like work. You want to help working class people. So and then also too, just and this one kind of final point. So I've experienced both, right? So like we lived in Shawnee, Oklahoma. It don't get much redder, you know what I
Yeah,
mean? Redder
yeah,
than
for
that. I
sure.
mean, small town Oklahoma, you know. So we've experienced that. I mean, I've lived in Wynnewood, Oklahoma. I've
Ooh,
lived in Purcell, Oklahoma. So
wow.
like I've lived in the rightest of the small town white right. And then I've also lived in, San Jose, California, about as blue and liberal as it literally gets. And like I said, both sides do have problems, and I've experienced them. But the problem, like I've experienced, like for example, like the beach town Santa Cruz. Like you've probably seen the clothing brand Santa Cruz.
Uh-huh.
Like it's like a popular beach town. Like that's like 40 minutes, 4 hours from. That's the beach people in the Bay Area usually go to. And obviously, as you can imagine, a Bay Area surfer beach town, they have pretty liberal politics. And they started playing those games about like allowing camping anywhere. So now there's tents everywhere. And then like they started doing like the needle exchange programs to like help addicts have access to clean needles. But guess what? Now every addict within like 50 miles goes there
To
and,
live.
and they just camp and live. And so and then like I mean I've been in the streets of San Francisco. When you met my boy Rodney. My boy Rodney was visiting me. We
Yeah.
were walking through San Francisco. We were honestly pretty fucked up. We were just having a good time rambling through the city, and like we step over this dude and we look down and he's like, I don't know if he was dead or passed out, but there was like a needle sticking out of his arm and he was like just like stiffed up and like you'll literally have to step over needles and like human shit everywhere you go in San Francisco. Like that type of shit is not like overhyped on the internet or on some Fox News shit. Like
Well,
that's
that
the real reality. Like when you go to these places in San Francisco, Santa Cruz, you're gonna see used needles. You're gonna see probably homeless people masturbating. You're gonna see like literally people taking shits just in the street. Like, and that's not even like that rare. You may see all three in a couple hours. Like it's not some rare thing. Like you're gonna see it. And so like I've seen the kind of results of these type of politics, and it's just a game you can't play. You can't
yeah.
play and that's not to say you don't feel bad for addicts or feel bad for homeless people, but there has to be the only thing that keeps a society is like an agreed upon rule set that we all adhere to and kind of agree to participate in. You know what I mean? It's like
Yep.
the old, like they teach you like sixth grade social studies, the concept of like a social contract. We
Yeah.
all kind of agree in the exchange for certain protections and a certain quality of life, and we all kind of make some sacrifices for the good of the whole, and it's a whole thing. But like if 70% of the people are doing that and then 30% of the people are shitting on the sidewalk and shooting heroin, and you know what I'm saying? It's like the whole
Yeah.
system don't work
It don't
if we
work.
ain't all
Nah.
pulling on the same rope in the same direction. And bro, I'm telling you, and it's gotten so bad in these liberal places like San Jose, San Francisco, like people will call you like a fascist or like a Nazi or like something crazy or just a general piece of shit, scumbag, heartless asshole for sharing sentiments like this. Like you shouldn't be able to, live on the sidewalk in front of my house and do drugs and take shits. Like they'll be
Yeah.
like, no, those people need a place. Like they'll hit you with the line. Their favorite line is they have a right to exist. Nobody's debating they have a right to
That's
exist, but
it.
like shitting on the sidewalk using heroin in front of kids and shit, and like, you know, like that's not
Yeah.
like existing. Like that's like a little bit more than just existing, right? Like
that's next level to me. Like, you feel me? Like, and like the craziest part, bro, and like I wasn't trying to get super political today, but like
it's been a while since I had a conversation like this, and honestly, back in the day, we would always have these conversations. That's what I wanted these podcasts to be. Is just like a throwback to all these like living room conversations that me and you would always have, and they would always have some politics in it. So like, I'm totally fine with it, man.